Well, this is the kit that's been sent out to the aid workers in West Africa at the moment. It's very robust. It's meant to keep the Ebola virus out, to stop any fluids coming into contact. It's very difficult to tear when you put on, so even when you're sort of wiggling around, you won't tear the material. And if this was been done completely properly, I'd also be taped in at all the seams as well. But I've only been wearing this for a few minutes. You've still got to take some pretty deep breaths to keep breathing. And it's really warm inside. I can feel already my hands perspiring, the rest of me getting very warm. And I cannot imagine what it would be like wearing this in a tropical climate in West Africa with high humidity. You will no doubt sweat buckets. Your gloves will fill up with perspiration as well, making it difficult to work. And medics and people wearing these suits are expected to wear them for about an hour at the time. And no doubt towards the end of that hour, it'll be feeling really, really uncomfortable. Working in a buddy system of pairs, you're working with each other, and each person is responsible for sealing and looking after their partner to make sure you get dressed properly, but most importantly that you get undressed properly at the end, that you take it off in a certain order, that you don't then accidentally contaminate yourself during that process, which is perhaps the most important part. So it's pretty frightening to wear, I have to say, and I'm only wearing this for an exercise, but to have to wear this for real, I really do admire the people that go out and do this, because it must be extremely difficult and potentially very frightening to do. But this appears to be good kit, £25 a time for all of this, and it's a one-use wonder, so it then has to be destroyed afterwards to make sure there's no further contamination. But I must say, an hour in this in a hot climate would be very difficult to do for most ordinary people, I think.
So we're in the middle of a building site here, but in a few weeks' time this will look very different. Just explain to me how this treatment centre is going to work. What are we going to see?
Well, it will look very different. We're at the centre here of an 80-bed treatment unit. So what you see behind you is the reception area, an area for the healthcare workers that are going to run this site to come and change and get into their protection equipment. And then you see a series of wards. The first you see are the unconfirmed cases, men and women, up to in extremis 20 beds. And then you see a series of wards that are confirmed cases, and behind that and to the rear you see a number of wards for those, we call them step-down wards, for those patients that survive the illness. And onto this side you see the doctors, the nursing, the clinical administration areas, and in front of us here you see the laboratory, the diagnostic laboratory where the blood tests will be taken, that differentiates between confirmed and unconfirmed. The white building there is the morgue. It has a capability of holding 30 bodies in it. There'll be an expansion capability if needed.
What sort of difference do you think that this treatment centre can make to this outbreak, bearing in mind there are now hundreds of cases every month?
You're right, you're right. This is part of a wider system. So this, what you see here today, is the first of UK sponsored facilities. My team are on the ground in 3 other sites as we speak now, creating 3 more, and there'll be another 2. So we will create 6 UK sponsored sites, over 700 beds of facilities. But it's part of a wider system, and it's that system that we need to get in place. And it starts at the local level with isolation, it starts with these treatment units, it starts with training, and it includes informing the people.
So how many British military staff are here, and what are they doing?
So I've got just over 100 people here, and the majority of them are engineering staff. So I've got 11 specialist engineers on this site today. They're working alongside Sierra Leone engineer, the Armed Forces element of the Sierra Leone engineers, and so, contractors, over 350 contractors on site as we see it today. Sierra Leone's doing it for themselves, leading the fight against this nasty national threat.
There's obviously going to be, 100 beds here. It's a big effort. But do you think that this is enough to bring this thing under control? We are seeing so many more cases. It's rising at an exponential rate. Is this a drop in the ocean?
The important thing is that we do something. It's never too late to start saving lives. What's the difference? Who would we be if we didn't step into this and do the best we can now?